Hello, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast. Today's project is something which is quite difficult to control and something which is very close to my heart. I love discipline and pay attention to details of what I'm supposed to do on a daily basis. But this one is very, very, very challenging at all times for everyone in the world. And that is the mastery of time. What do we do with our time? Do we waste it? Do we use it? And is it properly spent on a regular basis? Are we productive or are we just not productive? I want to tell you about a story, something which I think might clearly give you an idea of what time is and how amazing the expense that we would incur if we didn't pay attention to time on a regular basis. Imagine, for instance, that you had won a prize, something of phenomenal value. And each morning, and this is the prize that you won, the bank would deposit $86,400 in your private bank account. And that would be for your own use. However, now that you won that prize, there were a few rules that you had to follow. Okay, so follow with me now for just a moment, so I can take you through this ride and explain to you this commodity. And here's the first rule. Everything that you did not spend during each day would be taken away from you. That's the first rule. Second rule is you can't simply transfer money into somebody else's account. You are the only person that can spend it. So that's one. That's something that you had to do. Here's something else. The bank can, at any given time, and without any warning, say the game is over, and then they would take the money away. Close the account. Another thing. If it wanted to, the bank could, at any given time, close the account in an instant, and you will never receive another one. That's part of the rule. Now, what would you do personally if this was the case? So again, imagine running through this thought. You can get $86,400 deposited in your bank account every single day. And you can only spend it for yourself. You can't share it with others. But at any given time, if you, for whatever reason, make a mistake, or if you don't make a mistake, the bank can stop giving it to you and may never give it back to you again if they wanted to. Quite interesting, isn't it? So what would you buy in this case with that kind of money? And think about that. Irrespective of how eccentric you may be, that's a lot of money to spend on a daily basis. And it's not just once a week. That's every single day of every single week of every single month of every single year. And that same amount will be put in every single day. So that full amount is deposited. What would you buy? Would you buy everything you wanted? But you could. Well, what about for the people in your life? What about friends that you have? Maybe even people you don't know, because you couldn't possibly spend all this money on yourself. If you think about that, how much could you buy for yourself? After a period of time, and it won't be long, you would have bought pretty much anything you wanted, because you know that more money is coming in. So would you try to spend every single penny? You would, most likely. I'll tell you why. Because as it said, that if you didn't spend all the money, you could not use it on the next day. So that means you have $86,400 to spend on that day. And whatever you have not spent, you can't get the next day. So it's not that it's going to accumulate. You have to spend that full amount that day, period. Well, each of us, believe it or not, is in possession of that magical bank. And we don't see it. We don't think about it at the time. And it's called the magical bank of time. That's what it is. Each morning, believe it or not, we wake up and we receive 86,400 seconds as a gift. It's a gift of life. And when the day's done, it's not credited back to us. It's gone. It's finished. We can't live up to that day. And at any given time, for whatever reason, the account is refilled, but it can, without warning, be taken away from us. So think about this. If you enjoy every second of your life, And because the time races, and it's so much quicker than we think, if you don't take care of yourself, you don't take care of your life, you don't take care of the things that you're supposed to, how are you going to expand in your business? How? How are you going to benefit? How are you going to make anything be worthwhile? Here's one of the concepts about time, which is very important to remember in business and business ideas, business concepts. Number one is to do everything with integrity. Once you act with integrity, then this integrity carries you over. It helps you. It makes you the person that you are, but helps you think about better concepts. Because deep down inside, everybody wants to be honest. Everybody wants to be successful, but they want to be honest. Another concept is to do it with joy of service to others. And the reason is when you service others, when you help others, your time somehow becomes better used. See, your time becomes more and greater of an asset to you than it was something of a problem or a challenge. And this is something which is very important to remember and understand. So how do you regain control of your time right now? I'm not going to go into what do you do with your time. That'd be other podcasts. This is about the understanding of the importance of time. So what do you do? How do you regain the time? What do you do if you have no control of this? Well, there's a couple of things that I want to discuss about that. One thing is to learn to say no when you're supposed to and to say yes when you're supposed to. For instance, if this is something that you don't know how to do, or you do not have it scheduled at your time now, just say no. Perhaps I'll do it later. Perhaps I'll try it another time, but not now. Otherwise, you'll mess up your day. You'll mess up your schedule. You'll mess up your constant scheduling of any other events or tasks that you may have to perform. So just learn to say no, not now. By containing your time, by managing it, by focusing, and by being able to organize your day on certain things that must be done on that day, especially if they're time sensitive, you'll be able to accomplish what you're supposed to. So if things come at you from the left and the right, top and the bottom, here and there, and you're not sure what to do with that, sit back, stand back for a second and say, is this something that's going to help me make this day a better day? Or is it something that's not going to help me make this a better day? Is it something that's going to draw me back, or it's going to elevate it? Is it something that's going to benefit me, or something that's going to mess it up? What is it? The second question is that you have to think about it is on the things that you're doing in regaining control of your day is when you're at work, work. When you're at play, play. So many people that I know literally have their whole day mixed in one large pot. It's a melting pot. When they're in the shower, they're thinking about work. When they're driving, they're thinking about breakfast. When they're at work, they're thinking about playing. When they're working on certain concept, they're thinking about other things that need to happen. When they're at play, they're thinking about work. So many people do that. And you see them. When they're at work, they're not able to fully put their time into it. And they're thinking, oh, I can't wait to go on this vacation. But when they get to vacation, now what do they say? I've got all these issues that I have to think about regarding my work, regarding my job, regarding my focus, regarding all the responsibilities that I have. It's a mistake. Let me give you some advice. When you're in the shower, enjoy the water, enjoy the soap, enjoy the time off, and let your mind relax. And when you go and have breakfast, this is the time, if you have a family, to spend with a family, with a loved one, or with a partner. Whatever it is that you're doing, be there at that moment. Focus on that part of where you are. And when you get to work, focus on work. This isn't the time to answer texting or doing things on the internet or checking something else in your emails. That's not what the time is. Time at work is to be focused on what you're supposed to do, irrespective of your responsibility and irrespective of the job position that you have. That's what work is all about. Work. And then when you're at lunch, don't start discussing other things about what you did at work. Lunch is for you to enjoy, relax, and this is the moment for you to just take and pay attention to what you're eating. By doing this, by taking time, step by step, on what it is that you need to do, on the things that you've got to accomplish, you will see that so much more will get done. And don't try to mix. Don't try to mix from one concept to the other. And one more thing that I'd like to discuss, and this is the use of the internet. And this is really, really a problem today for many people. It's incredible. You see it at the restaurants, you see it in the subway, you see it in the plane, you see it at the gas station. Wherever people are, they have in their hand a cell phone. And what are they looking at? Well, they're either reading an article or social media, Facebook and Google, or they're reading emails, following up on texting. Continuously, people are looking on their phone, and they're not even waiting to get home to see what's going on the internet, on their computer or their laptop. They're doing it right from their phone. Phones today have become so much faster, so much better, and the images and upload time and everything else has become much easier. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. Don't let that phone run you. Don't let that text run you. If things can wait, let them wait. If things can be put to time at a later date, do that too. I'll tell you why. There's certain things that you have to do during the day. Certain things. And I'm not talking about getting dressed or having breakfast or saying hello to your mother. That's not what it's all about. I'm talking about a businessman, businesswoman, business partners have to accomplish a certain amount of tasks and complete a certain amount of projects each day. Focus on those projects. Focus on what you've got to do. Write them down. Analyze what it will take for you to get them done on that day. Get your tools ready. Get the prospects in place and get them done. Now, if when you're finished these projects and all your tasks have been completed successfully, you're pleased with what you've done, then you can, if you wish, go on the internet, check an email or talk to a friend or even check your social media. Although this isn't something that should be done during the day, I am a strong proponent of using the internet in every single aspect, including social media. It just shouldn't be done in the middle of the day when in reality you should be focusing on work. If you're serious about your life, if you're serious about what you're doing, if you're serious about becoming successful and developing a large amount of wealth, what you do with it, that's really your issue. That's not to be discussed. That's up to you. But the success that you can develop because of the talents that you have, or the abilities or capabilities, and put them into work, that's something that's given to everyone. If you are successful, and you can be successful, or you've been successful, and you would like to be more successful, then you need to focus on work, and you need to focus on what you have to do, and put all these other things aside. Now, some of us are not of the younger generation, including myself, and therefore, we were raised with a lot less distractions than what the younger people are facing today. We didn't have all these distractions. When we went somewhere, we did something, there was no way to call. As a matter of fact, you could go to a phone booth and you could make a phone call, but there was no texting, there was no emailing, none of these things existed. So it was a lot easier to focus and be part of the work that you had to do. Today, however, you'll see people driving and texting. You'll see people at a restaurant sitting with friends and checking their social media. If you're with your friends, why would you want to check your social media? You're right there socializing. Why would you waste that time? But during work, it's very dangerous. It takes away your focus. It takes away your ambition. It minimizes the eager desire to succeed. or sometimes takes it away from direction, and it changes its destination for no apparent reason than literally wasting time. So time is a very, very important component of life, and it can never be given back to you. As that story that I told you at the very beginning, it's given to us for a purpose. Time is the one thing that you will never, ever, ever recover. Once it passes, it's over. It's gone. You can never recover it. You will never get it back. Now, I really don't know what happens when a person passes away, and do they go back and do they really relive all that time? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing though, that as long as you're down here, as long as you're working, as long as you're alive, as long as you're healthy, that time is the most precious commodity you could ever have. And I would pay very close attention to what you're doing. I'm going to be discussing another podcast about how to organize your days and what to do with your days and how to maximize your time, effort, and energy for the time. But first, I want you to understand about the concept of time and the mastery of knowing what time is all about. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is something that you can benefit from. Wish you all the best, and as always, make it the best day.
If you like what you've heard, please let us know by leaving a comment below. We would really appreciate if you would be kind enough to like, share, and even subscribe. Feel free to follow us on Facebook.